Welcome. My name is Bill McDonald. I'm with Watershed Engineers, and I have some colleagues, Landry Jenkins from AJA Management and Technical Services, Sophie Davis in the back, and Alex Bohannon here with Wagner. Supervisor Evers, you got some colleagues with you as well?
Yes, I do. I have my two special project officers, Mr. Vaughn Sampson and Ms. Susan Hinds.
Very good. Thank y'all for being here. We've also got T. Duncan, Laura Anderson from the NRCS. So this meeting is about the Lake Ridgelea-Big Creek Watershed plan, which we've been working on for some time now. We had a meeting, was it, I heard back in March, was it March? We had our initial public meeting, or one of our public meetings to introduce the planning process. The purpose of this meeting is to share some alternative solutions that are under evaluation. We're getting close to the end of that part of the process, and we want to present those, have some discussion about them, get your input and get your thoughts about those, address any concerns, collect any concerns you might have. You may have some of those thoughts tonight, or you may go on and think about them subsequent to this. So we ask that you take one, make sure you have one of the comment forms, and leave us your comments, or take them home and submit them subsequent to this meeting. I think we've been around and introduced everyone in the room. Oh, no. There we go. So as I said, the point of the meeting is to discuss some alternative solutions and then get some feedback about those. Once again, the major participants in this program, the NRCS, part of the USDA, funds this and other programs like this. And USDA partners with the Mississippi Soil and Water Conservation Commission. Representative is not here tonight, but that's the state agency that partners with the federal agency that provides the funding. And then the state agency carries out the work through their contractors. And that's where we come in, AJA and Wagner. And then, of course, it's all made possible because the Hinds County Board of Supervisors has agreed to be the local sponsor for this program in this and several other watersheds. So this partnership between the federal government, the state agency, and the local government makes all of this possible. So those are the key players in the process. And I'm going to turn this over to Landry, and she'll discuss more details about this program.
Good evening. So the purpose of the watershed plan was to reduce the damages from flooding in the high-risk areas that were identified from Hinds County Board of Supervisors in the Lake Ridgelea area. And the project is to reduce the amount of flood function will be to reduce peak flows. In the process, we will have to make some acquisitions, some flood easements, and it will provide reduction in critical areas, and mainly the area of Branch Creek. That was one of our problem sites, and I think that's called Brown Subdivision. It's the backside, and it runs along the side of the creek. Another structural alternative will be channel modification or stream bank restoration. And the first one is along the tributary that runs into Big Creek here. We will restore degraded channel section and protect adjacent homes and properties from risk due to flood damage streams. And this area here is off of Parks Boulevard in a subdivision called Willowood. One is on the right and the other's on the left, and their homes are flooding in the back. And so this project would be to modify the channel from, I think he said about 14,000 feet it's about 14,000 feet, but it goes all across the backside of the subdivisions. Now the channel modification looks like this. What we would do is clear and snag, which is to remove vegetative growth, dredge and remove sedimentation, reshape the channel, and it'll be applied to selected reaches of the channel. So not all of this will be needed, but this probably would be, that area would probably all be needed. A non-structural alternative will be the buyout program. It's a voluntary buyout program for pretty much the same areas. It's focused on areas most at risk of flooding. It's voluntary. Its acquisition is according to the FMV. Relocation provision is provided. Property converted to permanent conservation easement. And it could be combined with other measures. And this could be combined also with the stream bank channelization in addition to the dry dam storage. Now the next steps. Now that we have come up with alternatives, we will finalize those alternatives, put them in a plan, submit that draft to the NRCS. That will go back and forth with comments and us revising what they suggested and us going back and forth with them. We'll finally get a draft that will be submitted for all of you all to see, to make comments on. After that, it will go through the final approval back to NRCS. After that, we will go to the design phase, and then we will move into construction. Are there any questions? I hate to say that, but you're the only resident in the room, everybody else working with us. We provided, I can give you a form that shows you all of these alternatives, background information. There's a map on the back. You're welcome to make comments on it. You can mail it back, you can email it, or you can go to the project website and submit comments there. It'll be uploaded. Everything will be uploaded there by Friday. And that's it.
So why does it take this so long to get the project started? I know there's a lot of projects that are working inside the county. It's taking 2, 3, 4 years to get them started. So why is that?
Yeah, this particular project has been going on started in May of last year. Mm-hmm. So the planning process, which is the process of identifying alternatives, going through the environmental assessment of those, to identify and assess the impacts to the natural environment, human environment. All of that is required because we're spending federal dollars. And so that process, part of which is review and comment periods like this, that typically takes 15 to 18 months for a project like this. So we're a month from the end of that. Well, we're near the end of that submittal process, and then we'll have a few months of back and forth comment and response from the federal government, and then from the public, And once that's approved, that will be, according to this schedule, in the spring of next year. So that whole process of developing solutions, evaluating the impacts, and then review and approval, that whole process takes, a year and a half to 2 years, just because of the statutory requirements that we have to comply with. But we're way past the halfway mark, so once it's approved, hopefully in the spring, it'll go right into design and construction. So it just, anytime we spend federal money, it just takes, we have to go through that review process.
So you said you all are waiting for the community to give a feedback? They have to give a feedback?
Yeah, there is a mandatory 30-day review period that will come once the plan is submitted and preliminarily approved by the agency. Then it will go out for a 30-day review period where it's available to the public, and we have to give the public 30 days to review it and then comment. And then at the end of that period, we'll take those, whatever comments we get, incorporate those back into the plan, and then that plan will go for final approval.
So how are you relaying this to the public?
All meetings are recorded.
Yeah.
And they're put on the project website. We contact your office to make sure that the word gets out. We contact city officials to make sure the word gets out. And texting through text.gov and social media.
Once that formal 30-day review period is about to begin, then there are certain ways that we're required to publish notification of that. It will be published federally and locally as well. And then any and all means beyond that, social media, the county's, text.gov.
Right. Church announcements, all that. Every resource will be provided in order to make sure that they are aware and need to make comments on it.
Because this meeting, you were supposed to be in Byron, am I correct?
Then we didn't have a place and the city government didn't want to host it. Any more questions? Thank you for coming, Supervisor Evans, and
You're welcome.
that's the end of our presentation. Thank you.
So if you need anything, just let us know.
Okay.
And this is why I try to go around to the different communities, because then when stuff happen, then everybody wants to complain about why they doing this and why they doing that. So we're gonna try to work on getting people to these meetings. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it.
Definitely